Good evening, Garage Gang. You know what time it is. It's our nightly crypto and market update. And this beast is roaring like a V8 tearing down the Vegas Strip. I'm your boy, Avatar John, your guide through the chaos of these markets, driving through the gritty trenches where the waitresses, missing a tooth and a decade, sling drinks that hit like a sledgehammer and reek of regret. Out here, Christian, the hottest gearhead in the game, flips scrap metal into multi-X gains that make crypto bros weep with envy. Lulu's out there, doping the TA to swipe the spotlight, but I ain't sweating it, because I'm gripping the wheel, powered by Auto Guru AI's next-level horsepower. You're here for Christian's trench picks? I feel you, and they're coming. But I'm going to tease you like a Vegas hustler, dangling gold, because this alpha's worth the wait. Smash that like, hit that follow, we're building this channel, so buckle up. Let's rip into tonight's Blackjack Gold Star edition and take this market for a spin. I'm staring at this crypto market like it's a V8 beast screaming down the strip. $3.87 trillion in total market cap. Strong but twitchy, like a driver eyeing a hairpin turn. Bitcoin's hauling at $112,000, up a slick 0.97% in 24 hours. But it smacked a wall at 113,000 resistance. Now it's fighting to hold 110,400 support. Like a dragster skidding to stay in its lane. Ethereum's crawling at $4,312, up a weak 0.3% today, down 1.4% over the week, like a hot rod sputtering on cheap gas. But Solana, that bad boy's burning rubber at $215, up 5.7%, shining like a chromed up lowrider stealing every eye. What's pumping the gas? The Fed's easing talk is like dumping nitro in the tank. Rate cuts whispered like a sweet deal in a back room. Big dogs are flooding in $1.03 billion in weekly digital asset inflows. United States Bitcoin ETFs pumped $364 million net on Monday, but Ethereum's bleeding $96.7 million in outflows, $192.7 million from ETHA alone. Bitcoin's the king right now. Basically, this is what it is. The market's a hot rod with a full tank, but Bitcoin's leading while Ethereum's stuck. Solana's stealing the show, and we're just getting warmed up. Let's roll into the garage, where my miners are the pit crew keeping this beast alive. Network difficulties at an all-time high, up 4.89%, like tuning a carburetor to scream at redline. A solo CK pool miner nailed a block for 3.13 Bitcoin, $347,980. Proof the little guy's still swinging a wrench. Over-the-counter desks are slamming. Cumberland's volumes up 30% in the last market shake. Sellers outpacing buyers 2-1, 75% on Bitcoin, like swapping tires only for the lead car. But here's the kicker. Dormant Bitcoin wallets are waking up, turning dead supply into a live wire. No exchange inflows yet, but if those whales dump, it's a big rig jackknifing across the highway. Supply shock meters at 30%, ETF inflows and CTAs holding the wheels. But unlocks could blow the engine. Basically, this is what it is. Miners are grinding. OTC desks are the backbone, but those old wallets are a loose bolt, ready to wreck the ride. Cruising through the macro storm now. The road signs are wild. Markets are betting hard on a Fed rate cut this month. Goldman Sachs calling 325 basis point trims in 2025. Like fresh asphalt for risk assets. But the Fed's playing cool. No dovish winks. Just axing a crypto oversight program and tossing a 2027 calendar like it's nothing. Narratives outrunning the map. UST yields at 4-month lows. Dollars DXY at a 7-week low of 97.323. Gold's blinding at $3,642 an ounce. Oil's up on OPEC plus tightening. CPI's expected at 0.3% month on month, 2.9% year on year. But a hot print could flip this rally into a ditch. Risk off odds, 55%. Basically, this is what it is. The road's slick with rate cut hype, but one bad CPI pothole could spin us out. Stay sharp. The big dogs, CTAs, are steering like autopilot machines. Goldman's projecting $21.73 billion in buys if the tape holds flat for a week. $92.45 billion in a month. That's a turbocharger. But Citadel's throwing a yellow flag. CTAs are maxed out. Equity signals weakening like a GPS dropping bars. S&P is up 0.21%. NDX 0.46%, near all-time highs. But RSI's flashing negative divergence. A check engine light. VIX under 16. VVIX up 2.18%. Sneaky hedging. A liquidation spiral's got a 60% shot if leverage hits a macro wall. Basically, this is what it is. CTAs are flooring it, but the system's red hot. One bad turn, and we're crashing. Make sure you smash that like, hit that follow. Deep in the trenches, my night crew's dropping heat. Asia's Bitcoin longs got wrecked near $110,000, but spot bins are building like mechanics patching a tire. Ethereum's hitting peaks in Japan and Korea. Japanese yen, 639,455. Korean won, 5,971,000. Market caps over 4.01 trillion bucks. 155 billion in daily volume. 95 out of 100 large caps green. Full gas. Corporate treasuries stacking 840,000 Bitcoin, but one big player's buying dropped 97% since November. Still, 3.68 million Bitcoin, 18% of the float locked by suits and sovereigns. Whale Q score 0.90. Straight 2021 vibes. Derivatives are a tinderbox. Ethereum's negative gamma from 4,000 to 4,400 could slingshot it to 4,400 on a break. Bitcoin CME Contango says bulls are driving. Korea's cracking down on scams. Japan and Korea pushing stablecoins. Bridges like Wormhole with 3 billion TVL and Stargate 370 million keep DeFi's engine roaring. Corporate Bitcoin could hit 330 billion by 2030, up from 80 billion, with FASB rules greasing the track. Basically, this is what it is. The garage is alive. Ethereum's got breakout juice. Bitcoin's got institutional beef. DeFi's humming. Regulators and bridge risks could jam the gears. Smash that like, hit that follow. Airwaves are scorching. Cointelegraph's yelling about 912 million bucks in Ethereum ETF outflows versus 524 million into Bitcoin. Ethereum's getting punched, but an 11 billion Bitcoin whale flipped 4 billion into Ethereum. 96,859 Ethereum got alts humming. Macro shaky. Reuters says dollars slipping. UST yields low. Fed cut bets high, but CPI and jobs could flip the table. Tech's on fire. Microsoft's 17.4 billion buck Nebius deal. TSMC's 2 nanometer ramp. Nvidia's Blackwell Ultra crushing benchmarks. Apple's iPhone 17 drop is a cycle kickstart. Tariff clouds looming. Xpeng's EVTOLs and Lilly's 1 billion AI drug lab. Straight future shit. Basically, this is what it is. Ethereum's hurting, but whales betting big. Tech's got NOS. Macro bumps could wreck the party. Smash that like, hit that follow. Equities flying near highs. Oracle's up 10% after hours on a 455 billion buck backlog. GameStop smashing with 972.2 million buck revenue. Nebius rocketing 49%. ALB's down over 10% on China's lithium restart. FOX off 4.7%. Equities pulled 1.67 billion in inflows. Money markets hoarding 7.26 trillion. Safety's boss. Bull odds 45%. Bear 35%. Sideways 20%. Basically, this is what it is. Stocks scorching, but cash parked in the lot, ready to bolt if shit hits. I'm spotting landmines. SCOTUS fast-tracking a tariff case. Could Gree like billions or torch them? BRICS wants multipolar finance. G7 racing for AI and minerals. Middle East heat could spike oil if Hormuz jokes. Truth Social buzzing with tariff noise. Headline volatility at 60%. Basically, this is what it is. The track's got traps, tariffs, geopolitics, oil shocks could skid us out. Smash that like, hit that follow. Now let's hit the finish line with the trench's wildest ride, the memes and Lulu's TA. On Solana, Bonk's tearing it up. 112% gain, 1.8 billion buck market cap. But it's ready for a pit stop. Pengu's got whales loading 200 million tokens, 591 million in open interest. 117% weekly gains on ETF hype, like a sleeper car with a hidden turbo. Troll's gone fucking nuts, up 800% in 2 weeks, pure hype fuel. On Base AI's a zombie, spiking 247.9%, then crashing 91%. Textbook rug trap. Degen's the real shit, doubling in a week with a 589 million buck cap, powered by a tight crew. Sui's native token is a DeFi monster. 367.9 million daily DEX volume, 1.76 billion TVL, with ETF filings and a 344 million buck whale buy. But watch it. Rugs like CR7 from 143 million to dust, and a hacked Ethereum dev wallet bar screaming danger. And Lulu, that sly pig's doping the TA, calling the shots like she owns the track. She's got Bitcoin pegged at 111,000 to 111,300 support, 110,400 deeper, resistance at 112,800 to 113,200. With a wheelie to 115,000 if it breaks. Solana's holding 215 to 216 bucks, 212 to 213 below. Resistance at 219 to 221. Eyeing 224 to 228 on a breakout. Ethereum's choppy between 4,310 and 4,360 bucks. Support at 4,300 to 4,315. 4,285 deeper. Resistance at 4,355 to 4,365. With a slingshot to 4,400 if it pops. Cardano's grinding up to 88 cents. Support at 87 to 88 cents. 86 cents below. Resistance at 89 to 90 cents. With a psychological push to 91 cents if it breaks out. Lulu says it's a level-to-level night. Keep stops tight. Let the chart pay you for patience. But let's be real. She's a pig. 4 hooves, a tail, and a snort. If you're taking advice from a farm animal, good luck keeping your wallet. Basically, this is what it is. Solana and Base are drag strips, but zombies like Base AI will burn your ass. Sui's got power, scams are potholes, and Lulu's TA is trying to steal Christian's thunder. But but we're dropping the real alpha. Make sure you smash that like, hit that follow. I'm staring at this engine, redlined on rate cut fumes, brothers. The gauge says full, but one hot CPI stalls the convoy, and CTA slam the brakes. Out here in the trenches, we don't back down. 24 to 48 hour odds, bull 55%, there 30%. Smash that like, hit that follow, and slide over to gurucryptogarage.guru. Let us know what you think. It's completely free. John and Auto Guru I have the